They can't. You can't show Muhammad's face. How funny would it be if they did the Prince of Egypt, but for Muhammad? But in order to get around that, Muhammad is like the parents in like early season Dexter's Laboratory or Tom and Jerry, where the frame just cuts off like above the neck, you know what I mean? So it's a bunch of people around Muhammad who are all shorter than him, and the story plays out like that, but it's just always not quite showing enough. You just see like up to the shoulder line. Islamic cartoons show Muhammad as a ball of light. I don't really get that. Why is their prophet not allowed to be depicted? I would understand if you can't depict God, because like Christians don't really like depicting God usually. If you're doing it in a cartoony way, okay, it's not like a big deal, but like in the Prince of Egypt, God is a burning bush, right? Like usually God is like more metaphorical in the Christian or depiction, and I guess in the Jewish depiction too. Why for them? Why with the prophet? Because they don't say that Muhammad was the son of God, right? Because it would lead to idolatry, I guess. In places of worship, they can't depict any living creatures. It's to prevent idolatry. Okay, is this a historical Islamic thing, or is this like a post-Wahhabist 19th century, we're really mad at Westerners, so we're going to radicalize kind of Islamic thing? It's historical? Okay, okay. They did make the Prince of Egypt, but for Muhammad? Muhammad, the last prophet. Film focuses on the early day of Islam and Muhammad. In accordance with Islamic law and tradition, Muhammad and the first four caliphs are not depicted in the film or any of its prequels. You can't depict the first four caliphs as well? Scenes that include Muhammad are shown from his perspective. From his perspective? Holy shit, is that like second person depiction? That's crazy. I guess that's not idolatry. That's so weird. How does that work? That's pretty cool. That makes me want to see it. The film follows Muhammad's first year as a prophet, starting with Islam's beginning in Mecca, which the Muslims are persecuted, the exodus to Medina, the ending of the Muslims' triumphant return to Mecca, number of crucial events such as the Battle of Badr. Yeah, I don't know anything about any of this, man. I guess it's easier to understand Jesus' lore because dude didn't do shit, right? Jesus was literally like just a chill guy hanging out until they got his ass. It's a much simpler. I guess Moses wandered in the desert for fucking 50 years. It's fully on YouTube. I'm actually really curious. I guess I've just had a difficult time learning anything about Islam because historical and contemporary Islam are so different. I know that like modern day Christianity. So the first thing you know about Christianity today is no one reads the Bible, right? But even then there's the three main schisms, right? There's Protestants, Catholics, and Orthodox. And then within the Protestants, there's other schisms, like Mormons are basically not even Christian. And then you have evangelicals who are like the crazy Protestant. So there's like a million variants, but it's easy for me to get because I'm an American, right? Like I've been in this environment, basically. I don't know much about Orthodox, but like in terms of Catholic, Protestant, Mormon, whatever, I've been around it, you know? And Judaism, I grew up in Beverly Hills. So I'm pretty familiar with at least a significant portion of the broader belief structure. You know, I've been to the bar mitzvahs, I've been to the bat mitzvahs, and so on. I was given the script in Hebrew and pretended to read along with everyone else as best as I could, you know. But yeah, I guess it's like, because there's such a difference between historical and contemporary Islam. Such a difference. My understanding, and I'm not even talking about the Sunni Shia split, my understanding, or all the hadiths, my understanding is like, Islam was keeping its train along for a while, and then the Islamic world went fucking pants on head crazy because of Western colonialism, and they were all like, what if we just what if we all turned into the Joker? What if the entire Islamic world just turned into the fucking Joker? And it's our fault. Like, we did it, you know, to create like Wahhabism and Osama bin Laden, the entire fucking Saudi royal family. Like, all of it is born out of like the relationship between Western colonialism and the Islamic world. This shit didn't happen to any other major religion, at least not that I'm aware of. Like an entire major world religion getting recontextualized in a brief window of a colonial period. I guess maybe it might have happened in the New World, but I have no idea what happened to a bunch of Mesoamerican religions. I guess, yeah, I don't know enough about that. The message is better known. That's not animated. That can't be like the Prince of Egypt. In Islam, you can't draw any faces, period. That's why old Islamic art isn't of people, it's of patterns. I guess that's why they have the world's most beautiful mosaics. Wait! Is that why? Is that why the Islamic world historically has been, like, goated with the sauce? When it comes to mosaic and, like, carpet making and shit? Because they're like, well, if we can't draw fat-ass baddies with the cleavage, then we might as well channel our creative energy into really cool fucking patterning? Huh, that's crazy. It's funny because despite us Iranians having the most strictly Islamic government, we're pretty secular. I once drew a picture of Muhammad in the corner of my notebook in class, showed my friend that he slapped me, and he said, no, this is how you draw him, and drew a penis. That's funny. Spirit of humanity carries on. No matter what. They can never silence us. You can show faces in Islam. In Iran and Central Asia, they even depict Muhammad's face historically. So much interesting stuff here. There's loads of art of people in the Islamic world. It might have been like some areas where they just de-emphasized drawing people. I do feel like I remember hearing at some point that there was a greater emphasis on like patterning and architectural drawings in some parts of the Islamic world in some time periods, but I'm sure it's really varied. We are talking about a religion of over 1 billion people, so it's not like, you know. Most Muslims don't believe in Islam either in my experience. I lived in Turkey for years. Okay, I'm stopping you right there, okay? You can't... Turkey is not a fair litmus test on the sincerity of Islamic belief. I think most Muslims would probably contest that, you know? Really depends on what Islam you pick. In the Ottomans, you could show Muhammad's face, and in Central Asia, it might be a Turk thing. Man, listen, okay? I'm not defending them, and I feel like the Ottoman Empire should not have stretched that far northwest. However, I feel like the world might be a lot more stable if the Ottoman Empire had not gone out the way it did. You know? I feel that the way that shit fell apart was not... I'm not doing Ottoman apologia. I'm only saying the way in which it fell apart ended up... It was self-inflicted? Yeah, to a large extent. They got a little wacky with it. It lasted for 500 years. Yeah, and then it went out like a bitch! The Balkans are the fault of the Turks. That's fucking facts.